let's unpack the experience piece a little more, right? So we're in the age of technology and AI, right? There's not a conversation that ends these days without AI being mentioned. So what does experience mean in that conversation, right? How do we enable better experience with all these tools, all these technologies that we have available? And the reason I'm also asking this is one of the most common questions that gets asked in industries like healthcare is, why can't we replicate the experiences that exist in an Amazon e-commerce kind of a world? Why can't we have the best experiences in travel sector, right? What's preventing healthcare from getting there? So how do we use the technologies and tools we have to deliver the kind of member experience journeys we're talking about here?
No, absolutely. Again, it's this industry has been around for such a long time that you're also a prisoner of some of the legacy systems that you're free to deal with. And at the end of the day, I won't get into why can't they become like a born digital. These companies were not born digital. Some of the more consumer tech companies today are born digital. So their architecture today is very different. But you try a born digital company, try and deal with them with somebody who's a baby boomer. The experience could be very different compared to how healthcare systems are wired. But what will enable healthcare system in this age of AI, in this age of what is the art of the possible, is try and make customer journeys inelastic, which means that end to end of either categorized by a socio-economic category or by an age category or whichever is the categorization you look like, if you make those customer journeys inelastic, so you allow a single provider or a few providers to get an end-to-end view as to what that customer journey is, which is on the back of data, allows them to go in and make insightful analysis of the data that comes out and drive an AI agenda which is right for that customer. Right now, between the fact that a lot of their clients have been acquisitive, there's multiple systems, there's no common system that talks, the data is in several places, the data lakes are not clean enough for action to happen, but the pressure on cost is very high. So what happens is sometimes you have patchwork AI strategies that come out that don't yield the ROI, and then it goes back to a labor cost arbitrage. So somewhere, if they embrace inelasticity of customer journeys and then embrace a human at the helm approach, because given the complexity and the nuances that are prevalent in the healthcare industry, it doesn't lend itself to 100% agentic AI architecture. You need a human at the helm and AI as a tool that supports them in driving the insights of a customer journey, which hopefully when it becomes inelastic, drives superior outcomes, and then it reflects in all the good things of retention, reducing churn, better star ratings. All those things become the end result.
Since you mentioned about the whole agentic AI architectures, let me ask you this. When we think about implementing any new technologies, right, agentic is probably the newest one in town right now. One of the most common thought process that comes to enterprises is, hey, this needs to be a more at an enterprise firm-wide level. I need to have my data strategy right, I need to have my security and infrastructure right, and then I'll think about the use case side of it. But what's different this time with agentic is that a lot of organizations we speak to don't have that kind of patience. They want to get maximum utilization out of agentic faster, and they don't have the time to invest in those big journeys, which can often take years and in some cases decades to implement. So how are you seeing clients kind of respond to it? What are the tips that they're using in terms of getting value out of agentic without having to wait for years?
Brilliant question. So the way we see this is to break down the entire process into smaller parts, so that you don't have to boil the entire ocean and then get frustrated because the return on investment is not proportional to the return on time in relation to the outcomes. So breaking it into smaller parts and making sure that the right approach of what is there is a complete human approach. There is in some parts you can use machine learning, which should be enough. Some part it gets to AI, human at the helm, and then certain elements lend themselves to an agentic, whereby you can control with proper guardrails. You can ensure that the level of output that you can drive doesn't need a human intervention. So there are point solutions that need to be broken up, and the best ROI comes when organizations are able to, so that's what, when you get the inelastic customer journey, you can then break down where the impact can be the most significant. Today, I think we have a clearer view where Agentic will work. 2 years back, we didn't.
Yeah.
So you had to spray a lot more and then figure out what will work and what won't, and that will keep getting better as the evolution of time happens, and also as cost of technology also needs to fall to really give the arbitrage of replacing a human with the outcome of technology, which then determines the ROI.